It's a myth, or we can say it's a golden deer that we need to catch, but no prices come down. Economically speaking, I'm a student of economy. I can give a statement on that. Inflation rates for the retail is constantly going upward, and the thought of the decreasing cost is not practical, and it is not till we have feel it.
Okay, and when we discuss input tax credit, which for a lot of businesses today is a pain point because a lot of times their working capital gets blocked for months. So, what are the systematic fixes that you would want to propose that could resolve this recurring issue?
So, input tax credit is, of course, as a concept, it is good. I told you that as in all GST, its concept is very nice.
Welcome to the Secretariat viewers. Axat Vyas is joining us today, who is a Jamnagar-based tax expert who has been one of the most vocal voices in shaping India's GST journey. On the 1st of July, as we complete 8 years of GST implementation across the nation, we dive deep into a conversation with the founder of National Association of Tax Practitioners and former core committee member of NAAC. He has helped drive key reforms from the ground up regarding GST, its implementation, and amendments. Welcome to the Secretariat, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, diving directly into the questions, looking back all these 8 years, according to you, how far has GST come in streamlining India's complex web of indirect taxes? Do you think it has met its core objective?
I'll say last 8 years in the indirect taxation was so much confusing for everybody, even for the taxpayer, even for the administration. They were totally clueless because system, you know, we have been watching Terminator in our childhood. The man is making the AI, and AI is now ruling Earth. So this is what is happening in the implementation of GST. That GST is 100% system-based taxation, and system is overruling everything, even the law, even the administration. System is giving command to administration to issue the notice, and administration without application of mind. Taxpayers are giving the reply to each and every person. Sometimes, in the many cases, 15 to 20 out of 100 cases, they are facing more than one litigation for 1 year or one transaction. They are quite frequently receiving notices from the different type of administration. Say CGST is issuing notice, SGST is issuing notice, enforcement is issuing notice, preventive is issuing notice, DGGI is issuing notice, and some EOW branch is also issuing notice for the same mistake or for the same purpose. So the taxpayers are also frustrated, and frustration in my is the big word, but I stick to my first conclusion. They are confused.
As you just mentioned, that instead of different departments of taxes having to fill compliances for each one of them, would it be right to say that the GST compliance is now simpler and or new challenges have emerged in that as well?
No, in the basically GST as a concept is a fantastic. It is a Midas touch to the Indian economy. As a concept, it is good. But the way it's implemented, the authority which is implementing it, it's not proper, or it's not, we can say, the throwing pearl in front of a swine.
So, one of the promises that was made while GST was implemented was to eliminate cascading taxes and lower consumer prices. So, in your view, has the overall tax burden reduced or lower than before, or where are we in terms of that now?
People are facing trouble because the rate of the GST is too much high. And government, if I tell it in on behalf of government, I'll tell you that our RNR was 15.5 revenue
Hmm.
natural rate. So in that case, government has to raise the taxes. But so far input tax credit is concerned, there are we are witnessing many litigations, and all the seniors like us are saying that it is the start only. We will face many litigation in input tax. People will be starving for the cash with the cash crunch. They will be out of 100% of the liquidity. It is the future, and that is also because of the prohibition of the input tax. Yeah, as a GST, if we say if we want to give the credit of goods and service, just give it. Why are you denying it with the some inverted comma and some asterisks and some conditions? Those conditions are many conditions were struck down by the government, by the Supreme Court, but government is keep changing the law to block
Hmm.
the credit. So so far, when you ask about the cascading effect, I told it is a myth. Okay, so it is happening because of government's the bureaucrats' view or bureaucrats' approach to withhold the credit. It is not government intention, but the way the law is drafted, the way it is implemented, it is such a way that the people are not fit. Actually, input tax credit should be the right, fundamental right of the taxpayer. And in GST, it is the mercy of the administration. That's the main problem.
Because, sir, because of such issues, especially the smaller businesses tend to suffer a lot. I mean, owing to red tapeism or bureaucratic complexities, uh, a lot of times bogus billing and fake credit schemes get uncovered. Now,
It
again,
was
this
there.
problem.
It was there at the time of sales tax. It was there at the time of value-added tax, and it is there in the time of GST. But now people are smart. Means people are smart enough to publicize it. So far, if we consider the revenue we are getting from the GST is more than 2 lakhs crore, more than 1 lakh 90,000 crore is now base rational rate income of GST. So, if we consider there are 1 crore 40 lakhs or 1 crore 50 lakhs taxpayers in India, and in these 8 years, this whole 8 years, how many cases were found for bogus billing? 15,000, 20,000. It is the, can we say 1% or 0.1%?
Hmm.
So it will be there. So there will be in the always people will get the shortcut to earn the money. But why people has to choose it? That is the point that government should ponder upon. Why people are going for? Maybe because of the higher income tax rate. Maybe because of of the government policy that so far I have witnessed some contractors are involved. I mean, are victim of bogus billing. Some uh, some of the businesses who are getting the more than 12% or 30% of net profit net profit, they are also victim of these bogus invoices. And I've also witnessed few of the administrators who are uh, taking benefit. It's a bold statement, but I'm giving it that who are taking benefit of persons, individuals' cash crunch, and they are bribing the individual to file an affidavit so that they can file the affidavit that I am not sold the goods and I am doing the bogus billing.
Hmm.
This is the maybe because of the promotion, maybe because of the superior's pressure, maybe because of to get the coming to the headline that we have busted so many rackets of the bogus billing. So bogus billing, why it is happening, that should be the first priority. Maybe it is the system lacuna at present. If I claim the credit, I have to rely on somebody else. Maybe
Hmm.
it is the written formation, written style. At present, people are uploading themselves. Instead, people should be upload their purchases in the written flow. So, if the government change something, if government want to restrict this, they will able 100% able to restrict. But the bogus billing will not stop because
Hmm.
people, the taxpayers are also not 100% taxpayers are not genuine.
True. And uh, so, somewhere everyone tends to agree that GST is an amazing concept in itself, but somewhere the bureaucratic complexities make it a little difficult for people to adapt. So a lot of businesses have raised concerns about, as you mentioned, like, harassment by tax officials, especially when documents without valid DINs are used. So what safeguards do businesses have, and how are courts, like the legislature, is viewing such cases?
No, I'm not convinced with the statement that people are not adopting GST. People
Hmm.
are adopting.
True.
People has to adopt the GST. Somehow the interpretation is there. Interpretation is done by many people.
Hmm.
GST and it is creating some problem. At present, we say in the joking, we are making the fun of this that the GST is the WhatsApp Act. When as a consultant, we come to know about the things, taxpayers are sending us the WhatsApp notification. Is this notification is applicable to us? So this is happening. Everybody is, if you go through some X or Twitter channel or some Facebook channels or some YouTube channel, numerous lectures and numerous mm, consultants or our brothers and sisters are there. They are telling many things about the GST and people are watching it. Taxpayers are watching it. So they
Hmm.
are adoptive, but extent of their adoption is limited.
Okay. Now, sir, the other concern is that India has a lot of revenue coming from the informal sector or the unorganized sector of economy. I mean, there are too many unregistered small businesses which are having good revenue streams. So, are we still facing issues with informal businesses staying out of the net of GST?
You see, these informal businesses and unorganized sectors may not be able to help government in generating revenue, but they are helping government in generating the this labors recruitment, their employment. So, and these sectors specifically, if we are speaking about the non-registered class of the non-registered under GST class of businesses, they are suffering. And I'm seeing the future that they will have to close down their businesses very soon.
There was an idea which was floated when GST was launched, that of a tax tribunal and a taxpayer charter, which we are still awaiting. I mean, it's been 8 years and we are still awaiting that.
We are still waiting for that. That tribunal, we are waiting. And the citizen charter is not yet declared. If declared, I am not aware. If declared, it is not implemented. So, it is it.
Would the tax tribunal and the taxpayer charter make any difference if they are finally floated?
Yes, 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 yes. Uh, you see, if you see GST as a law, then law cannot be studied by one line or one section. It should be studied in the context of the constitutional. The constitution is should be studied as a jurisprudence. It should be studied as a whole, as a concept and its practicality. So, We have witnessed that the sales tax tribunal, uh, VAT tribunal, excise tribunal, means service tax, means cases were under the one tribunal. This tribunal were quite practical and more logical. So we think that if tribunal will formation will be done, I'm hoping that it will be done by the end of this year because the government is taking it as being the priority. But when it will be actually working, the many points of the law will be clear. Many practical aspect will be borne out. When charter will be introduced and will be available for each and every taxpayer, there will, taxpayer will be certain about the some disposal of their cases or their applications. Now it is they are not certain that when they are filing refund, when it will be proceed, they are not certain. Some of the administrators are also doing that. They are raising the query, the refund application on the 90th day, so that their refund may be delayed. So if they will have some accountability, they will have some compulsion to disposal for the proceeding of this case, taxpayer will be benefited.
So, sir, we were in the last part of the question that what are the reforms or what are the suggestions that you would think could like address two major issues that GST faces today. One is stability, because there is a lot of volatility around GST amendments, and second is inclusivity, such that the rural and informal businesses can also be included in the mandate.
If you ask me, I'll tell that I'll take you to the constitutional concept of India, where state and central both are having the different type of organism. They both are having the different budget. They are having their sources and they are having their expenditure. They are having the full freedom to spend the budget. In this case, relying on the central for a grant for the state in the era where there will be a height of political differences will be quite difficult for each state. And that is why if there will be, of course, we are paying CGST, SGST, IGST, and cess also in some of the goods or services. So in this case, if states are having the full liberty to implement their taxes, and central is having the full liberty of their taxes, like it was before, and they might have some mechanism to exchange the credit of each taxes, then it will be the better version of the GST. State will be independent, and at present, if we go to the state government for any kind of request or suggestion, they are saying that it is in the hand of council, central and the council. We are not able to do anything. If we go to the council, they say, or the central government, they are also saying that it is in the council. And who runs the council? How it's going on? Of course, it is many types. Minutes been published. But what agenda is going to put in those council and how we can present our agenda into the council, it is still a difficult part. So, in this mixture, we need to framework the GST as a whole. We might have some constitutional amendment also. We might be running something more effective also. But there is a way. If we can cross exchange the credit state taxes to central taxes and central taxes to state taxes, then the income of all will be separated. They will able to spend it. Now, so far inclusion is concerned, GST is the law of compliances. And I don't think or I don't suggest that the small vendor or the small farmer, like the unit who is helping the farmer, should join the GST, because they will be their expense for the compliances will too much higher, and the accuracy, because it's the system-based taxation system, the accuracy which system need might not be the cup of tea for the small vendor. Even a businessman with the small with the good setup are making a mistake, and that making the small mistakes is making a huge cost. It's creating huge cost to the industrialist. So in in this scenario, I don't think that inclusion of the small vendors or the small businessmen in GST is advisable. It is not advisable for them. And last but not least, uh, of course, it will be the controversial statement, or not the controversial, but it will be the debatable statement. I, if I may, I will demand some human approach into the GST. Human approach means, of course, there is a chance of increasing of corruption if we adopt the human approach in the GST. Because administrator, if I'm not well, and if I'm the only businessman, only person who is running my business is in the compliances, and I'm not able to file the return, it is costing me a lot. So if because system is judging me, system has no brain, system has no sensitivity, system has no sensibility. So if we are asking human approach, we ask sensibility, we ask some human interference in decreasing the penalty and all these things, because at present it is all monotonous. For that, we need the sensible officers, honest officers, and the officer who know how to deal with the quasi-judicial process.
Got it, sir. But this has been a very insightful conversation. And on behalf of the Secretariat, I really thank you for your precious time. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you very much.